Hi guys, let's see another question of Prelims 2022. Come to the rightmost column, the last column headed Prelims 2022 question. The question reads, with reference to the expenditure made by an organization or a company, consider the following statements. You are required to identify the correct statements. The first statement read, acquiring new technology is capital expenditure. Okay, and the second statement reads, debt financing is considered capital expenditure while equity financing is considered revenue expenditure. So this is a simple question containing four technical terms. So unless you understand the meanings of these terms, you will not be able to solve this question. So the terms you need to understand are debt financing, equity financing, capital expenditure, and revenue expenditure. So let us see how the previous year questions help us in this case. Come to the leftmost column, the first column headed related PYQs, and we are looking at a question from 2016. Now this whole question is not important, just the main question statement, the top statement. It says with reference to IFC masala bonds, right? So you may have heard about this term also, masala bonds. The name itself is clarifying it. It's a bond, it's a debt instrument. And come directly to the second statement. It says they are rupee denominated bonds and are a source of debt financing, right, for the public and private sector. You are required to identify the correct statements in this question. The answer of this question is Charlie. Charlie is both 1 and 2. That means the second statement is correct. So this means IFC masala bonds are a source of debt financing. So what does it mean? Bonds are debt instruments and these are a source of debt financing means whenever you are financing, whenever you are raising money by issuing debt instruments, that is called debt financing. So we understand this term regarding the 2022 question. The other term we want to understand is equity financing. So just extrapolate the meaning of debt financing. So debt financing means raising money through debt by issuing debt. So equity financing will mean raising money by issuing equity instruments, that is equity shares. And we all know that equity shares represent ownership in the organization, in the company. So and it is, the term also is very common when you read about disinvestment of PSUs also, right? The government is selling X percentage stake, Y percentage stake, etc. Also multiple private sector companies, you know, every day IPOs are coming, so that also is selling of equity. So equity represents ownership. So we have clarified the meanings of the term debt financing and equity financing. Let us see the meaning of capital and revenue expenditure now. So we need to come to another PYQ which was asked in the year 1987. The question read, deficit financing means. So deficit financing is not of our concern, but just see the delta statement. The answer of this question is not required for answering 2022 questions, so you don't need to worry about it. Just directly come to the delta statement. It says capital expenditure on items of public construction, public enterprises, and public borrowings, right? So what does capital expenditure mean? This statement itself is clarifying that for us. The term capital expenditure means investing on public projects, like public construction, dams, infrastructure, roads, power lines, railway lines, etc., public enterprises, PSUs, etc., right? So by this term we can understand that such huge investments will be made when we are talking about capital expenditure, and these huge investments naturally, because of their size, these are not made frequently. They are made like in one go, and then the benefits of these investments accrue for many years. So capital expenditure means you are investing heavily, you are making heavy investments, but these are not recurring. They are like one time or some time investments. So come directly to the 2022 question now. It says equity financing. Come to the second statement. Equity financing is considered revenue expenditure, right? So we already know the meaning of the term equity financing. You are selling ownership, And capital expenditure also, we know, like it is one time expense. So if you relate, will you sell ownership multiple times or do you sell it only once, right? Ownership is sold only once or only sometimes. If you are selling it in tranches, only sometimes ownership will be sold. It is not like regularly you are selling ownership, right? So it cannot be revenue expenditure, it should be capital expenditure by the meaning we have derived from the 1987 question. So the second statement is incorrect. And if we look at the first statement, it says acquiring new technology is capital expenditure. So do you acquire technology like, very frequently? No, you acquire it once and then you keep using that technology for some time, right? So it says acquiring new technology is capital expenditure. So yes, the meaning of capital expenditure and acquiring new technology is syncing. So the first statement is correct, the second statement is incorrect. That means the answer to this question has to be alpha. So guys, this is how previous year questions help in solving the questions. There are multiple other questions of prelims 2022 that can be solved through previous year questions. I'm going to share all of them in due time. And also in this particular question, I've shared only 2 questions in this video just to keep things short, but actually there are 7 questions in total, including these 2 questions that are related to this particular question of 2022 prelims. I'm going to give all these 7 questions in the PDF, right? And just as a side note, the PDF actually is purchasable for a nominal fees of rupees 99. Thank you guys. See you next time.